Hi, this is Minetta Lippert. I'm the Youth Services Librarian at the Dwight Foster Public Library in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. And today I wanted to share with you some new books that I found on our children's shelves. I've got a wide variety, lots of books that I wanted to share with you today. So here's one book. It's called Saturday by Olga Mora, written and illustrated by Olga Mora. This book is about a young girl and her mother, and they have a tradition of spending Saturdays together. The mother works all the other days, but Saturday is their special day together. They have lots of fun things planned, but their Saturday doesn't go the way they thought it would. So the first thing that they were going to do together was go to story time at the library, but they get to the library and story time is canceled. And they keep going through all these disappointments on their Saturday, but they end up enjoying their time together anyway. Another book that we just got is called The Ocean Calls, a Haino mermaid story. So this is a fictional picture book, but it's based on a real group of women called the Haino. They live in South Korea, and their job is to dive to the bottom of the ocean and collect seafood that they then sell. They don't use any breathing equipment. They hold their breaths for almost 2 minutes, and they dive really great lengths in the ocean. So this is a fictional story about a young girl who's learning how to do this from her grandmother. And this book just came to our library as well. This one's called Gustavo the Shy Ghost by Flavia Z. Drago. And this is about an adorable, cute little ghost who is very shy, and he doesn't have any friends. And the Day of the Dead is coming up. So he hatches a plan to try to get himself some friends. And you can find out if it works or not. Okay, so those were some picture books. This is a book it's an easier chapter book for a slightly older reader, or families could read this book together. This is book 5 in the Masterpiece Adventures series. This one is called A Trip to the Country for Marvin and James. All of these books are about Marvin and James. They're about a little boy and his pet beetle who have cute little adventures together. Now let's look at some longer chapter books. All the Impossible Things by Lindsay Lackey. This book came out in the fall. I read this one. I absolutely loved it. It's about a young girl who is in the foster care system. And she starts living with a family. They're a little bit quirky. They have a petting zoo. There's a donkey at their petting zoo. There's a huge tortoise. And this girl starts to finally feel comfortable with her new foster family. And then her mother comes back into the picture, and that throws everything out of whack again. This young girl also has a little bit of magic. So there's some magical realism in this book as well. Brother's Keeper by Julie Lee is it takes place in 1950 in North Korea, and this girl has to help her younger brother escape from North Korea, which is not an easy thing to do in a war-torn country. Here's another new book we have. It's called Clean Getaway by Nick Stone. This book, the main character has gotten himself in trouble at school and he is grounded, but then all of a sudden up comes his grandmother, he calls her Jima, in an RV, and they go on a road trip together. And of course he is ready to go on a road trip with his grandma rather than be grounded. But as they're going, you learn about history as well. During their adventure, he learns that the South hasn't always been a welcoming place for people who look like him. So it's fun, it's an adventure, but there's also history in this book as well. Now let's look at some children's nonfiction. This book is very interesting. It's called Mammoth Science by David Macaulay, the big ideas that explain our world tested by mammoths. So this is for our science lovers. It's about all different kinds of science. There's chemistry, physics, earth science, biology, and all of these big concepts are explained with the help of a mammoth. So for example, we can look at bacteria, but we've got a mammoth helping us out learn about this science. Here we are, reactions, atoms. Let's learn about atoms with the help of a mammoth. So that's a fun way to learn about some science. And then one more book that I wanted to share with you. This book is called Box, Henry Brown Mails Himself to Freedom, written by Carol Boston Weatherford and illustrated by Michelle Wood. This book is comprised of poems telling the story of Henry Brown, who actually mailed himself from the South up to freedom in the North to escape slavery. All of the poems in this book have 6 lines for the 6 sides of a box. So his story is not an easy one to read, but it's very well crafted and a beautiful way to learn about history. So Box. So those were some new books that I found on our shelves that I wanted to share with you. Come check them out from the library. Thanks for watching.